Good afternoon, everybody. We've reached a quorum, and so we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome all of our guests to our webinar, Climbing the Maturity Ladder with SAP PPM 5.0 for IT Portfolio and Project Management. My name is Tom Martin, and I'm the moderator for today's webinar. The agenda for today is we'll start with some introductions, then we'll pose some common questions from the CIO and the PMO, and we'll get into an SAP PPM 5.0 demo. We'll look at portfolio inventory, capacity planning, financial planning, and reporting and dashboards. We'll then look at a benefits case and how GyanSys takes these solutions we have to market, and finish up with what webinars are coming next and our Q&A, an open Q&A. By way of introductions, well, my name is Tom Martin, and I head up the PLM, the PPM practice at GyanSys. My background in SAP goes all the way back to the mid-90s in project controls, including PPM, since the tool's inception in the middle of last decade. I'll also introduce you to John Hoover. John Hoover is the delivery manager for IT Portfolio and Project Management within GyanSys, and John handles all the day-to-day IT project portfolio implementations. Finally, I'll hand you over to Ian Strain.
Thanks, Tom, and welcome everybody. Yes, my role at SAP is working with our Center of Excellence for our product lifecycle management solutions, and my particular specialization is project and portfolio management. And I'm just going to take a few minutes at the start here to kind of talk about the emerging and growing PPM community, some of the challenges we all face. And really to kick off, these are a collection of pain points and goals and aspirations that we've collected over the years from our customers. And I think I just want to point to two rather than going through the full list, as John and Tom will touch on some of these points as we go through the demo. But one of the key challenges is having data distributed across the enterprise and not being able to get that information into a centralized location where you can report on it and use that information to good effect. And really what that drives to in terms of a goal and a need is a single source of truth. One of the things that John and Tom will cover also later on is the whole concept of organizational maturity and the maturity of the tools that you're using. And really that plays into a larger conversation around project and portfolio management. Looking at the PPM solution and the environments that we see PPM being used in, they're typical in 4 different business scenarios. The first one that we'll cover is where people are building, commissioning, maintaining large assets, such as in the oil and gas industry, utilities industry. And typically these projects have got a strong capital base, so making decisions about capital investments and how you effectively make those investments and control them over the lifetime of those projects. The second scenario, and the one that we're going to focus on most today, is IT portfolio management. One of the driving requirements there is really around resources. I haven't seen an IT organization that have got more people than projects. Most projects are resource starved. So how do we effectively manage the resources that we have and make sure they're being deployed to the greatest effect on the most critical projects? The third scenario is in the new product development and introduction, where organizations are looking to introduce new products to the market or upgrading, enhancing existing products. How do they manage the projects and the decisions around which projects to initiate? Very classical use of PPM. And the last one, and it's a growing area, is slightly different to the first three, where they're focused mainly on how do we manage cost, how do we manage resources. This one relates to certainly resource management, but more to do with the revenue side of the equation. How do we optimize revenue by making sure that we're addressing the right opportunities, etc. So all 4 scenarios are very typical, and what what they all drive to is, in some organizations, the need to take an enterprise focus, not just a siloed approach to project and portfolio management. And PPM is such a tool that you can genuinely use across